Ladies and gentlemen, this story is absolutely disgusting, but it just goes to show you the level of greed that many of these airlines have. So, this is Air Canada passengers removed for refusing to sit on vomit soiled seats. So, apparently, someone got sick and threw up on some seats, and they expected these passengers that pay, and you know how outrageous these plane tickets are, right? They expected these passengers to still sit down on these seats and take their flight. Now, this flight was taking off from Las Vegas to Montreal, and they wanted people to sit in these seats. And from what it sounds like, it was more than one seat that got soiled with this vomit. So, two travelers were kicked off of Air Canada flight after they refused to sit on seats that were soiled by vomit. According to a witness in local media, Susan Benson, who was seated in the row behind the passengers on the August 26th flight from Las Vegas to Montreal, shared the incident in a Facebook post, writing that two women and a man were struggling to get seated because of a foul smell. So, oh, that's disgusting. You could still smell it too. Ugh. She overheard the situation involving the two women who Benson said mentioned that they were married. The flight attendants and pilots told the women that someone had vomited in that area on a previous flight and the residue had stayed on the seat overnight, Benson said. The crew attempted to do a quick cleanup before boarding passengers, but what they were unable to do a thorough wash. Okay, then why would you seat people there? Why not seat them somewhere else on the plane? Or put them on another flight, perhaps? So, anyway, the crew attempted to clean up before the passengers boarded. Benson recalled there was vomit residue and a foul smell, enough for the passengers around to smell it. Ugh. The cabin crew had used coffee grounds in the seat and sprayed perfume to mask the smell. That might have actually made it worse. But Benson said it clearly upset the passengers and pointed out to a flight attendant that the seat and the seat belt were wet. Oh, man, please. They definitely attempted to clean it up, Benson told the Washington Post. The flight attendant told them repeatedly that there was nothing that could be done since the flight was full. And after several minutes of arguing, the passengers were given blankets and wipes. Benson said they attempted to clean themselves, but the seats were still wet. Oh, so that means they sat in it. Oh, no. Oh, hell no. Benson noted the women said they didn't want to sit on a wet seat for the duration of a 4 hour and 25-minute flight. When they were seated, however, the pilot arrived to tell the women that they had been rude to the flight attendants and should leave the plane on their own, paying for their own new flights, or they would be escorted off the plane by security and placed on a no fly list. Wait a minute, because they wouldn't sit on some smelly seats that were vomit on? You're going to put them on a no fly list and throw them off the plane and make them pay for another flight? Oh, man. Mm-mm-mm. That's some jacked up mess. Benson said there was no yelling involved and that the incident was barely audible to those that were in proximity to the parties involved. The male passenger in the same row, who said he was a police officer and was helping interpret the flight crew's French, as the women did not speak the language. Security eventually came to the aisle and escorted the two women off the plane. Wow. Air Canada said in a statement that its operating procedures were not followed correctly and that it is still reviewing the matter on the internal basis. We are reviewing this very serious matter internally and have followed up with with the customers directly, as our operating procedures were not followed correctly in this instance. This includes apologizing to those customers, as they clearly did not receive the standard of care to which they were entitled, and addressing their concerns. We remain in contact with them about this matter, the airline said in a statement. Benson said she detailed the incident in an Air Canada survey, but has not heard from the airline herself. The two passengers were not identified, and it's unclear whether they were put on the plane's no fly list or received a refund. Passengers noted the airline have struggled with cleanliness amid labor shortage and pandemic cleaning procedures dropping. With less cleaning staff and more flight demand, crews sometimes have only minutes to clean before the next flight after passengers deplane. CNN reported passengers finding blood soaked floors in July, and in a recent Delta flight returning to Atlanta, diarrhea all through the plane. Oh, man. Oh, it's bad enough you're crammed up on those planes, but to smell that kind of stuff on your flight, oh no. Oh no. Oh, hell no. This is according to the Atlanta Journal Constitution. Benson's original post have been shared 7,000 times on Facebook, the social media platform Twitter. She also wrote a separate post Monday night stating that she won't be happy until there is more of an apology. She said this won't necessarily affect her decision to fly with Air Canada in the future, as she lives in a remote area and the air carrier is one of the few, if only, options to travel. And she was upset that the incident happened to the beginning with it said the women's story should have been shared adequately and handled correctly. I also can't necessarily blame the entire industry over the way a particular crew handled the situation, Benson said. That is absolutely disgusting. Just on, oh, just the details are disgusting. And then it's even worse when you hear what happened on these American flights: blood soaked floors and diarrhea. Oh, nasty, nasty. But they still want you to pay for those expensive tickets, or right? Y'all tell me what you think about this one. Mm. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.